Fallout 76 first patch is huge, but it's missing something important. Is Fallout 76 down? Bethesda confirms downtime for massive November 19 update. Fallout 76 first major patch is a whopping 47GB on console, over encumbered. Bethesda's newest game is coming under fire for an astonishingly big first patch. Here's what you need to know. I'm Paragon Hex, and this is not Pew News. Let's jump right in. So, a couple of days ago, Bethesda decided to provide a list with all the changes that are coming to Fallout 76 through the end of the year. And this list includes some of the most contentious points that came out of the beta, including stash limit, push to talk, FOV, ultra-wide support, and they're promising that these changes are coming. And they also explained how some of these changes could risk stability, which is why they're taking their time with these updates. They also mentioned the November 19th patch, which is the one that we got today, and went on to explain that the size for this patch was going to be on the larger end of the distribution. So this is going to be larger than the normal size for the patches that we're going to receive throughout the end of the year. However, this doesn't stop the media from, making a big fuss out of this. Bethesda's newest game is coming under fire for an astonishingly big first patch. Here's what you need to know. First of all, the update is 1.01, not 1.02 if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm a complete dumb here. Hold on, but let me just check real quick. Yeah, it's 1.01. 1.0.1 is the patch version. Across the board, Xbox, PC, PS4, it's 1.01. So your title, like straight out of the gate, is wrong. But anyway, let's just put that aside. Let's say it's a minor mistake, of course. So this is the first patch that PC players are getting for Fallout 76, and this is the second patch that console players are getting. And for PC, it's a 15GB download, which is not much, honestly. For consoles, however, it's a really freaking big patch. It's 54GB. So it's true that it's a whopping number. Yeah, it's a gigantic number. There's no need to say they're coming under fire, though. If you're keeping up with the news, you knew this was coming. We all knew this was coming. And if you're a PC player, it's a basic update. It doesn't really matter because you have a system that can actually handle the game. But if you're working on legacy systems like a PS4 and an Xbox, these consoles are legacy systems. So let's be clear on that. That's why the updates are much more robust compared to PC, because they have to optimize it even further. And how do we know this is an optimization patch? Well, because the patch notes say so. Most of these updates are regarding like performance and stability issues, which is the first thing that you need to address. You cannot add content when you already have performance and stability issues. So I do feel like maybe this patch is laying the foundations for bigger and more interesting patches in the future. Bigger in terms of content, not in terms of size. They said that this patch is going to be the biggest one, or it's going to be on the higher end of the distribution in terms of size. That's actually really good news for us PC players, because 15GB is like next to nothing really. However, I did want to bring some attention to this outrage that is surrounding all the patch notes and updates for Fallout 76. We got the same outrage for the day one patch, which PC didn't even get, and we have this now again. Dude, yeah, updates are big. It doesn't mean that they're gonna take up much of your hard drive, because a lot of these files are just being replaced. So basically you're re-downloading the same file. So it doesn't mean that you're losing access to 54GB of your hard drive. That's not what's happening, first of all. The only problem here is that it's annoying. That's the only problem. It's a nuisance. If the feedback was, okay, we don't like the changes that you're making of the bug fixes that you're addressing here, that would be one thing. That would be constructive criticism right there. But if people just getting mad because of the size, I get that it's a nuisance, but it's not constructive. It's not helping anyone. They need to fix it, and it's gonna be a bigger patch on consoles because they need to optimize it even further. Like, that's why PC is not even a problem. It's 15GB. That's not a nuisance at all. It's just half an hour, not even half an hour. It's like 15 minutes of you just sitting there and downloading 15 gigabytes. However, I do see this outrage culture sort of like controlling the narrative around the patch notes and updates. Every time Fallout comes out and says what they're gonna do to improve the game, I just see this wave of hatred directed towards them, and I feel like this wave sort of like hides this desire for the game to die. I feel like some people want this game to die already, and every time Bethesda comes out and says what they're gonna do to address the issues and to improve the game, these people feel somehow offended maybe, and I sort of like understand that position if you feel betrayed. So I'm not gonna say that they're wrong. I'm not gonna make any sort of like attack here. All I'm saying is, if you bought the game, you should be rooting for them, or at the very least be happy that they're addressing the issues. We can have a position where we say, yo, Bethesda, you effed up big time, but at least you're trying. It's much more helpful than saying this patch is too big, why are you even trying, just let it die already. It's not helpful. So anyway, let's just go ahead and dive into the details here. So some of the art and graphics updates include ambient occlusion, placed items no longer leave behind shadow outlines after being picked up. Camera, the game camera now pans more smoothly when the player enters furniture. I guess that's referring to when you sit down or lay down on your bed or something like that. Graphics, the cover of Tesla Science magazine issue 9 no longer appears solid red on pickup or when inspected. Fixed an issue in which some enemies could chase the player farther than intended. I did notice that while playing. Ghoul and Scorched officers now correctly drop nuke codes pieces upon being killed by a player. Some camp workshops and crafting updates. So blueprints, they fixed an issue that could cause blueprints to break into smaller parts after logging out and back into Fallout 76. Plans. Paints applied to power armor during Fallout 76 beta will now appear correctly on the items that were painted, and those paints can now correctly be applied to additional sets of power armor. Fixed an issue that could cause an item to return to a broken state after being repaired. And in terms of PvP, they fixed some issues with the pacifist mode, the respawn when fighting another player, the seek revenge cap reward that is displayed incorrectly, and the reward amount that is displayed when you're trying to kill a player that is seeking revenge on you. These are all technical fixes, if you guys have noticed. So of course we have some people saying Fallout 76 first patch is huge, but it's missing something important. This is coming from Forbes again. I don't know if real gamers and epic gamers go to Forbes for their gaming news. I'm guessing not, because they're complaining about the stash size once again. I don't know if maybe they didn't read or they didn't do any research, but their basic complaint is that this update does not include the stash size. And as Bethesda said before the update went live, they said the stash size is not here, we're gonna add it before the year is out, but we need to take our time because it could affect stability. I don't know if maybe Forbes didn't read that, maybe they didn't do any research, but decided to write it anyway, and that's a catchy title, I gotta say. Anyway, we knew this was not coming on this patch, so that's really a non-news. So I'm guessing Bethesda had a what the frick man right there. And on top of that, the servers went down for a scheduled maintenance this morning. So of course, there's news about that as well, but we knew that was coming as well, so that's fine. And the servers are back online right now. I'm actually about to start playing again. So at the end of the day, I feel like the update is necessary. It may be laying the foundations for some technical and content updates in the future. So let's just give them time, at least throughout the end of the year, to see what they bring to the table, see if they finally fix some of the bigger issues that we had throughout the beta and start adding some new content. That would be great, but first you need to fix the technical issues. Second, you can start adding content. So let's just be patient, dude. Oh, and by the way, guys, as I was editing this, it was brought to my attention that the FPS cap on PC was removed. So the 63 FPS cap on PC servers that was there for stability issues was removed. I'm not sure why they didn't put this on the patch notes. Maybe it came afterwards. Who knows, but it's great news. That's a newsworthy change right there. It's much more important than the stash size, of course, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, remember to leave a like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.